one song that actually gets on my nerves. I say disco, you say party, disco, disco, party, party. I say disco, you say party, disco, disco, party, party. Like, no disco, and I don't say party, party. Like, who are you talking to? Like, I'm not gonna be singing to the screen. Disco, disco, party, party. Shut up!
I swear, it can't be just me. You miss one day of school, and then the teachers let you go home early and it hasn't even been half a day. Ariana Grande shows up to teach your music lesson. There's a massive water balloon fight at lunchtime. All sorts of tea, nothing compared to what you've seen before. Movies in English, along with a school trip to a theme park. You meet famous TikTokers and get their merch for free. And then you never hear the end of the day you missed again.
My daughter Savannah is the CEO of faking illness to get out of school. So when she does not feel like being there, she will go to the nurse's office and complain to them that she is really not feeling good so that they call me and I have to go get her. Well, one day after this happens, I walk into the administrative office and everybody is really concerned because Savannah is sitting in a chair like so dramatically like, hi, Mom. And like when I saw her, I burst out laughing. I was like, oh my God, are you okay? And everybody looked at me like I was some really bad mom. Like, oh my God, why aren't you more concerned? But as we were walking out, she was walking really slow and actually didn't look good. So even I was a little concerned. I was like, oh my God, honey, are you okay? Until we got to the car when Savannah looks at me and goes, you know what, Mom? I feel better now. And I was like, Savannah, are you serious? And she's like, Mom, do you maybe want to go to Starbucks and have like a girls' day? And I was like, honey, what kind of question is that? You know I do.
One time I went to the zoo, and one of the exhibits at this zoo was a big hole in the wall with no glass, just a hole with some branches and sticks, and a sign that said, in this exhibit is a giant spider. But apparently this one specific kind of spider would never leave its web, so they didn't even have to have glass on the cage. But guess what? When I looked in that exhibit, there was no giant spider. I even stuck my head in the cage to get a good look, and I couldn't find it. So when a zookeeper walked past, I was like, hey, zookeeper, where's the giant spider? And she looked around the exhibit and couldn't find it herself, and all she had to say was, huh, that's weird. Excuse me, what do you mean that's weird? There's a giant spider on the loose. Call 911.
I do not understand in the slightest how I can literally be falling asleep, right? I cannot keep my eyes open. But then when I actually get into bed and I want to go to sleep, I can't. I'm all of a sudden...
If you can't relate to this video, I cannot explain how jealous I am. So remember in elementary school when the teacher would leave the room for 3 seconds and the class would all go recess hyper mode? Say, for example, Mr. James had to go talk to the teacher next door. Then, all of a sudden, the class would be running around, paper planes would be thrown around, they'd be screaming, and it would just be hyper. And then, when Mr. James comes back, everyone's teleported back to their seats all of a sudden, and they're goody two-shoes. What?
Story time. In my old school, I was in a friend group of 5 girls, including me. Annie, Camila, Jenna, and Emily. We were all like best friends and always had sleepovers on Fridays or on the weekend. But Camila always said that she couldn't make it because she had soccer practice.
The funniest thing is when your teacher is telling you off and you're in a really, really serious conversation. And then you look slightly to the side and you see your best friend dying with laughter and making huge eye contact. It's literally impossible to stop yourself from laughing or smiling because you know that's just gonna set your teacher right off the edge and gonna burst with anger. Also, I just had an avocado by accident, and they are the grossest things ever. I don't get how so many people like them. They are disgusting. Okay, starting with a huge debate. Comment Marvel or DC. My friends asked me this yesterday, and I said I didn't like either of them. And oh my god, they were all so confused because Marvel is apparently the best thing ever. Like Black Widow. I just don't understand why teachers have to act like such bloody Karens whenever we want to go to the bathroom. Like, it's just a regular day at school. You're working hard. Well, Yeah, kind of, yeah. And then you have the sudden urge to pee. You ask the teacher, and then they're like, no, you're not wasting my lesson time on you going to the toilet. You should have gone at lunch. Yeah, hun. No. You see, let me teach you how the human body works. I didn't need to go at lunch. My food has to digest first. Yeah, I don't digest it straight away. Also, sometimes you get that slightest bit lucky, and then they're like, okay, just wait for Vanessa to get out. We don't want you two girls talking. No. Hun, let me get this thing straight. I don't like Vanessa. I don't think anyone likes Vanessa. So, we're not going to exactly have a full-on conversation in the toilets. Like, what do you think it is, a mother's meeting? Make it make sense! Is anyone else just really craving McDonald's all the time? Okay, maybe not all the time, but their fries are glorious. And I don't know if this is an unpopular opinion, but soggy and cold fries are better than crispy and warm fries. I said it, and you cannot change my mind.